Azad Moopen joins us, Chairman and Managing Director of Aster Healthcare. Azad, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Since 2013, company has been expanding, which has led to a CAGR growth of nearly 30%. How do you see this growth rate being maintained, which is 30% plus?
So, see, as you know, we have nearly 87% of our incomes coming from outside the country and only 13% from India. I mean, 83% from outside and 17% from India. So, the growth has been both outside the country as well as here. And the growth, if you look at in India, because we already have built up capacity by way of a number of establishments, and the turnover and all should increase in India.
Right. Azad, morning. So the company has seen interest expense as well going up drastically because of this expansion. Do you see majority of investment now behind, which will then pay off dividends in the coming years?
So we have reduced the interest by about 50 crores when we brought in the amount that was received through the IPO and paid off most of the Indian debt. And even though we have some debt in India, our debt presently is mostly outside the country, which is having a much less interest cost. So we think that for this expansion and for the growth, this is required, and this will come down as we are a profit making company, and we should be able to bring down the debt level significantly.
You majorly operate in GCC countries. Tell us, how is the GCC market different from an investment and the return perspective?
So one of the strengths is that we are in 9 geographies, 6 GCC countries, India and the Philippines as well as Jordan. And the GCC countries, we have a very stable business which has been there for 30 years. And the ROCs of the business there are much better when compared to what the hospitals here make, our as well as our peer group. So looking forward, there is still opportunity for growth in GCC. If you look at the oil prices, which has stabilized at a higher level, as well as other changes which are brought in Saudi Arabia as well as UAE by the rulers regarding the different things like, for example, investment protection, 100% investment protection or ownership rights, as well as 10-year residency. So this will definitely improve or increase our chance of doing better business there, and we hope that we will continue the growth both in India as well as in GCC.
Right. There's a key bearish argument going for Aster, and that's been that regional geopolitical pressures, political intervention in the GCC area acts negatively. How is it that you plan to address the same issue?
That's a very pertinent question, but we have been there for 30 years. If you look at our last 10 years performance, in spite of the oil prices going up and down, the local issues around in the Middle East and all, we have been growing at a CAGR of 25 to 30% on both top line and bottom line. That's why we have, which was just a $100 million company in 2008 when the first private equity partner joined. Now we have become, what our size now is, about 1.5 billion US dollars. So there has been a steady growth. It is not that we don't have issues, but we are thinking that we are able to overcome if there are any small challenges, and of course we have proved it over these years. And even this year's result, if you look at, in spite of all the challenges, we have actually, according to whatever we had given guidance, we have been able to reach that.
Okay, so you are a very different, unique company versus the others listed in the hospital, clinics as well as retail pharmacy space. What benefits you, and what is it that's working in favor of you right now?
Yeah, so the benefit is that we have an ecosystem of clinics, pharmacies and hospitals, which helps the patient to get a full service, like they come to the primary clinic for their initial consultation, then get medicines from the pharmacies, and then go to the hospital if there are anything beyond that. And as you rightly mentioned, as the hospitals in GCC are not taking care of tertiary and quaternary care. We also have the advantage of having such hospitals in India where we can send the patient. So altogether, we have an ecosystem which helps in the patients getting a full level treatment, and that is helping us also in improving our business.
Okay, thanks so much for taking the time out and highlighting really where exactly is the company headed.